Just before you do that, I want to thank everybody for coming. This is great, and for accommodating 5 o'clock is a weird time, but.
Okay, I need it down a bit. That's really loud. Well, there's still some people coming on.
And I want to thank everybody as well for participating in CHESED Week this week. It's going to be an awesome week, and just hope everybody feels as connected to the shul and to our community as we hope that they will. So thank you for participating in this and hopefully other activities through the week. Oh, and my name is Rachel Schwartz for those
serious situations that place them at.
All right, Sam, you wanna?
Oh, sure. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Samantha. I grew up at B'nai Ashurim, but I work at Providence House now, which is why I'm here talking to you all. So I'm a social worker at Providence House. And for those of you who don't know what Providence House is, we are a crisis nursery. We serve children birth through age 12 while the family is in some type of crisis. So what that means is, oh, thank you. So while the family is in some type of crisis, the kids will stay at our center. So whether that means homelessness, domestic violence, any type of like income or benefits gap, anything like that, like short-term medical or mental health needs, really a whole variety of referral reasons. Typically our maximum length of stay is about 60 days, but our average length of stay right now is around 21 to 23 days. So it's a very short period of time that we're doing pretty intensive case management, parent education services with the families. We have some trauma services as well. They're required to visit with the kids while they're here. Obviously, COVID has put a wrench in a lot of the amazing programs that we do, but we're still, doing them in some type of capacity, which is great. So I think that's kind of my overview. I'm going to share a video. I will warn you that it's about 5 or 6 years outdated. So you'll hear that we're just opening a center. That's not true. We've been open. And she might share some other statistics that are a little bit old. So I'll fact check them at the end. And then I'm happy to take any questions as well. So without further ado, I will try to share my screen. And someone just give me a nod when you can see what I'm seeing.
You're good.
Beautiful. Okay. I will share my sound.
Providence House provides emergency shelter to children who are newborn through 10 years old who are living in really serious situations that place them at active risk of abuse or neglect. So our goal, number one, is to protect children by removing them from those very volatile situations and giving them a very safe, loving space to stay in. And while children live here, we work very intensively with their families. We really work to move those new, strong, safe families back out into the community, rebuilding our neighborhoods, building safe communities for children by educating people in the community about the importance of preventing abuse and neglect and really empowering these fragile families to succeed. Welcome to Providence House. Providence House is Ohio's first crisis nursery. We're one of the oldest operating nurseries in the US and Canada today. We have the longest length of stay in the United States. So our children and families really have the time with us so that we can truly have an enduring impact on their lives. We're really excited to give you a tour because we've actually just opened our brand new expanded crisis nursery. It was a $2.5 million effort that this community was so dedicated to supporting. We're so excited to show you around the beautiful house that is truly for children with tiny tubs and potties and little doors and completely dedicated to a wonderful experience for children while they live here at Providence House.
When we designed this space, we wanted to make sure the children had a different experience in each one of the rooms. Each one of the rooms then could reinforce their developmental milestone achievement and educational experience that they would have while they were here with us.
new expansion has had such a positive impact on Providence House, and we've been able to do so many amazing things with the new space. We've been able to increase the ages of the children that we serve from newborn to 6 to newborn to 10, so big brothers and sisters can now stay here with their little siblings and share bedrooms together as a family. Our new space is also allowing us to serve up to 20 children at a time. So in a year, almost 250 children will live at Providence House while we've helped to create a stronger, safer family for them.
I love this whole Providence house. Me too. The windows, the floor, the blueness, everything, the doors, this, everything. I like the whole Providence house. Outside, it was snowing. I like everything. I like this. I like the
So like I said, I will fact check it a little bit. So you heard her say that we extended up to age 10. So now about a year or two after that, we got licensing for up to age 12 with really the same purpose, to be able to keep families together with a wider range of ages, which is awesome. The other thing is, so you saw one building, and that one is licensed up to 20 beds. And then we have a building across the street that's licensed for up to 10 beds. And that one typically serves our higher need, like medical children. So whether it's like higher need autism support, or maybe kids with like G-tube feedings, we'll bring in the VNA. So it just gives us a lot of flexibility in that area. We're also working on opening a building on the east side so that we can help to support families on both sides of Cleveland. We've seen that 70% of our families that end up not being able to come in for whatever reason, whether it's capacity or transportation, they're all from the east side. So we're very excited to have locations on both sides of Cleveland. So that one's going to be on 118th and Buckeye. So we're pretty excited about that one. I think that's my general overview. Are there any questions? I'm happy to take them.
Sam,
Yeah.
what is your role at Providence House?
I hear you, but I can't see you, but I will answer your
Rachel.
question. Oh, hi, Rachel. So I'm a social worker here. We have a team of about, I think, 6 of us at this point, which when I got hired, there were only 2 plus an intern, which was amazing. My role is a few things. So I do a lot of developmental work with the kids. So when she's talking about developmental milestones, I'm doing a lot of that work, making referrals, working with the kids while they're here to kind of make sure that they are where they need to be for their age and for their gender. And like I said, making referrals so that they have services once they leave, because our service period is pretty short. And then I'm also doing, all of that case management, parent education, trauma services with the parents. Right now that's all over Zoom, but it's pretty consistent. It's like twice a week. They have, compliance rules. So it's a pretty intensive program. But is also, works with the parent for, whatever reason is bringing them in. So let's say they're trying to earn some extra income to pay for a down payment on an apartment. I'm not penalizing them for not being able to meet with me from 9 to 5 because they're working. So, we are flexible around all of our clients' needs, which is awesome. Our parent education support is also like very focused towards the individual family. So I'm not teaching a mom with 4 kids how to diaper her baby. Things like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? So one thing I wanted to add is that all of our kids who come in receive a backpack filled with 5 outfits, a couple of sets of pajamas, underwear, shoes, coat, stuffed animal, and blanket when they come here. And then they take all that home when they leave. So we always love blankets. So we appreciate you all doing this CHESED project for Providence House. I think there was a image in the video with like beds covered in like those fleece blankets. So we definitely go through them pretty quick, especially during the winter also.
What other types of items do you accept for donations?
Diane always
So right now we're only taking new donations. In the past, we were open to doing like gently used clothing and toys. Because of COVID, we're just doing new items. But it's really a range. We have a running like Amazon wish list that's both linked to our website and our social media pages. I'm happy to send that to either Rachel or Margie or someone to share if that's of interest. But really, like I said, it's a range. We go from like needing tons of like over-the-counter Tylenol and Aquaphor to cannot think of any items right now because my brain is mush. But that's why we have a wish list on Amazon. Thanks for asking.
I have a question. So the blankets the fleece blankets that are made, do they go to an individual or they go there and they get used by many people because they're on
Yeah,
the bed?
typically, good question. So typically when they're coming in, they're receiving like all of their own like clothing and then that same like stuffed animal blanket, and that's what's going home with them.
Naples Princess, but all
Did
it
I answer
is,
your question?
no one signed a contract.
Okay, good. Anyone else?
Could everybody unmute them or mute themselves and only unmute yourself if you have a question because we're getting feedback. Thank you.
Do feel free to say, unmute, and if you have questions or comments, I don't want to discourage that, but it's easier to hear if people are muted to start. Did anyone have
If anyone's too shy to speak up, feel free to reach out to Margie. She has my contact information. She can connect us also.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you for having me. And again, thanks for making these blankets and thinking of Providence House. We appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us. You're welcome to stay.
I wish I could. I wish I could make a blanket. See ya.
It could be arranged. So for everybody else, thank you for joining us. Does everyone have their kit spread out on the table so we can make blankets? You can kind of nod or, okay, thanks. So the idea is, I'm just going to switch here to gallery view so I can see everybody. What you're going to do is take one of your corners, I'm like holding it up to the wrong camera, so forgive me while I get used to having to. And we're going to cut out about a 5-inch square. Don't get all concerned about measuring precisely. I usually just kind of take my scissors and go in 2 cuts, but if you want to judge the distance, it's about the size of a CD. So, kind of imagine a CD case, and we're going to cut that out. And that part just gets put aside. We don't need it anymore. Somebody tell me if I need to go faster or slower or if this is good. Once you've done that, you're just going to take your scissors and you're going to cut in as far as that first cut, about every inch or so. Like I said, if you are a person who is sort of scientifically minded or math minded and feels like you need to put a ruler there and go every inch, you can. It doesn't matter. None of these kids is going to look at this blanket that you made for them and say, it's nice, it's soft, it's cozy and warm, but that fringe is a little wider than the other one, so I don't want it. They're just going to be happy that you did this. So once you've cut maybe, I don't know, 10 or 15 strips, you can put down the scissors. Some people, if you're working with someone else there, like to have one person go along and cut it and the other person tie the knots. That's up to you. But it's, once you have a set like that, you're just going to pick up one of the pairs because you've cut through both layers at one time. So your 2 pieces will all match up. And you're going to hold one in each hand. Somebody said before, if I know how to tie my shoes, it's just like tying your shoes. You're going to tie those 2 pieces in a double knot. Tie it once. Oops, not kidding. Tie it again and pull. Oh. Put
the camera on.
Yeah, could you do the tie again slowly for those of us who were still cutting and not listening?
You said to say that again. So you're going to pick up one set of those fringe that you just cut, which is a piece from the top and a piece from the bottom. Can you see that? I'm trying to hold my hands out of the way. And tie that in a double knot.
Gotcha.
It kind of doesn't matter whether you do the bottom one over the top one or cross the other direction. Whatever's easier for you. And if you're consistent, they'll all look the same. And if you're not, it's a fun mix. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going down the row and tying knots. You can't see.
You had to speak of you. I'm not spotlighted. The camera's not.
Excuse me, David, over here, it's spotlighted. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the technology. If I take that away. And can everybody see the blanket now?
Yes.
Okay. Just had to get rid of my face. So you see how you're starting to end up with just a fun edge, right?
Now,
Hey, Margie, I have a question.
Yes.
I've done these many times and I'm not telling you, but what I find when I do the knots, I'm able to make multiple knots on one. Like I could do three of them. Depends on, then you get into
Time one after the other?
like, if I do a knot and then I want to make it, I keep tying the same two pieces. I can make it, like put 3 knots in it.
You can do that if you want. We'll have shorter fringe. If you find that your fringe are longer than you want them to be, you can make shorter cuts.
Gotcha.
So there are actually lots of different ways that people have started to do these edges. Somebody's not, there we go. Did I get rid of the feedback? I think, okay. You can, if you would prefer, I wouldn't probably change on the middle of the same blanket, but if you wrap your 2 pieces around your finger and pull them through, that's a different style knot. Some people have done it where you cut a little hole in the middle of each single piece and then weave it together. And if anyone's interested, I can share afterward some websites where they show those things. If you are a crocheter, and I do not know how to crochet, people will crochet a yarn edge on the end of it. So all kinds of different things. But they all just turn out, a little bit different look, but the same nice warm blanket.
Margie, it's Lila and Dahlia and Julie here. I'm sorry, we're really behind.
That's okay.
Can you tell us what are you tying together for these fringes? The top piece and the bottom piece of the strip that you cut?
Yep, exactly. You're going to pick up one pair. That's why it's important to cut through both pieces at the same time instead of fringing them first, because then they're already pre-matched for you.
Okay, I see what you're doing now. You're cutting them.
All right, so they're cut. I'm picking up this next set in line and tying those 2 together.
Okay, and how many knots did you say to do?
I just do a double knot,
Okay.
because then it's tied and it's not going to come undone. And if, it gets washed in the washing machine 50 times and one of them comes loose, you just retie it. It's not, a problem.
Yeah.
Lynn said she sometimes will take those fringe that are left, get out of the camera way, and tie it again. I think, especially for little kids or someone who's fidgety, it's nice to have something to play with.
Does it matter if we started on the long side of the blanket or the short side?
Nope,
Okay.
not at all. And what's going to
Everything
happen,
fell around? Okay.
you're going to do all 4 sides. And the reason that we cut out those corners, I'm going to come over here. So where I used to have this piece here, however this was set up, you see now the blanket ends where that was cut. So my next set of fringe are going to come in this way. And when you tie it, they'll meet at what becomes the corner of the blanket here.
Perfect, thank you. Now we're back on track, thanks.
All right. And what you'll find is just the nature of the fabric. 2 of the sides will kind of stretch a little bit. The other 2 that are opposite each other, the fringe will be a lot stretchier. No big deal. It's just because it's a knit fabric, it does that. So there's my finished.
Shani or Margie or Margie,
Mhm.
I think when we're all done with these, we should take and make like a group not a group picture of the people, but a group picture of all the blankets that we've made. Just to make us feel good.
Okay. Some people might finish it tonight. Some people, might end up putting it aside because it is on your kitchen table and it's dinner time. The drop off is at the synagogue Sunday morning. So if you don't finish it today, feel free to pick it up again tomorrow and finish it. Now that it's tied together, it's really easy just to fold it in half or in quarters and move it and bring it back out when you're ready.
I have a question.
Yes.
It's Ellen. So there was the thing about cutting the selvage off. My fabric didn't have the writing and anything, but it had this like rolly end. Were we supposed to cut off the rolly end?
I usually do, just because you can feel it's going to be at the end of each of your fringes.
Okay. I didn't know if I should iron it or cut it or.
It won't flatten out from ironing it.
Okay.
And it's all polyester, so your iron will probably have to be hot enough to melt it before you started to flatten
Okay,
that.
I didn't want to do it anyway. Okay, I'll just cut them off then. Thank you.
And if it looks okay, you can leave it. But the ones that have a white strip with writing,
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Hi, it's Rabbi Hal. Can I make a suggestion also? I know we're probably not all going to finish before the end of our session today. That also, if you want, you can take a picture with the blanket and you can email them to Shani or Rachel or one of the rabbis, and we can collect pictures also of you with the blanket you made.
So you this month.
I know, I started mine
The first
last
step
week
of
when
the
we
year.
did it with the teens, and I'm still only halfway through.
If you're tying a shoe, the first step, and then you do it again.
Right.
And that again, and that's it.
So I was going to say, Julie and Shani and Lauren, I know you guys have more than one person working on it. You might find it easier to work on 2 different sides, or like I said, if one of you's cutting and the other one comes along right behind and ties knots.
Can you show again how you did a corner?
Yeah, you don't do anything differently. I'm going to flip to this other one. I told my husband this is like one of those cooking shows where you like pull it out of the oven and it's ready. Not cut the one I was working on. So if this was the corner, I lost my scissors. Hold on. Okay. So this one I hadn't cut the corner out yet, but if this is the corner, and I've started tying on both sides, when you get to the next corner, you're going to stop about that same CD 5-inch difference away from the end. And you'll have your fringes that end right there. And you'll have fringes that ended on the other adjacent side. And when you tie them, they're going to meet right here at the corner. So if I did this one in a double knot, it's like the last fringe on this side and the first fringe on the next side. They just end up next to each other. Can you see that? I didn't do anything different. I just got rid of that corner piece. It used to be right here. Shani, does that help?
Yes.
Okay. Did that make sense to everybody else? I think sometimes I say things that seem obvious to me and I forget to explain them for someone who hasn't heard it before.
So I'm just working on my first side,
Mm-hmm.
the long side, and already I just want to say it looks pretty good.
It really is.
kind of exciting because it doesn't take that much to make something come to life.
And it's something that people love.
Yes.
You know, if you start looking at some of the comments that people have made online, they're like, oh, I've made 100 of these as gifts. And, you know, I don't know what to give everyone in my family this year because last year everybody got a blanket. And then, you know, for their birthdays, I gave them a second blanket. And now I need a new idea.
Years ago, when we did the mitzvah day on Sunday, Ellen Meyer showed us how to make no fleece hats and scarves, which we gave to Stepstone. And we have pictures still of that. And the kids were so happy. It was just beautiful.
Yeah, we did that a couple of years.
Yeah.
There are all kinds of things. If you're doing this for yourself and not as a necessarily a donation, you can take 2 smaller pieces of fleece, and when you tie the 3 sides together, you stick a pillow in the middle before you tie the 4th one, and that's a great, you know, if you know someone who's going away to college, it's great. You can use their school fleece and make a pillow for their dorm as a graduation gift. Or, you know, whatever, it comes in every style of design that you could think of.
Margie?
Yes.
This is Linda. The tag that I have on my kit, or that came with my kit, says that it was distributed by Joanne Stores.
Yes.
And I know they're headquartered in Hudson.
Yes.
Do they sell these kits so that someone could order them and just have it as a family project, a class project, a Mother's Day gift?
They do. You can buy them in 2 different sizes. The size that we're working on now is the smaller one. The bigger one is more of an adult size throw, you know, if you're sitting watching a movie on TV or something. But this one is also good if you're making it for someone, you know, in a nursing home or a wheelchair. It's a more manageable size.
Yeah.
The kit is something that came out a few years ago. The only advantage to that is that the 2 pieces are already paired up for you. You don't have to.
Sure.
Normally people will go and pick out a printed design and then find a solid color that they like with it. This way they're already pre-matched and you don't have to stand at the cutting counter and ask for someone to measure it out. That being said, you have a lot more choices if you go and pick out 2 places, but it's the exact same idea.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I just want to thank Margie and Rachel Schwartz and Shani and all of our CHESED team and all of you who are doing this great mitzvah as really our first formal B'nai Yeshurun Group CHESED Week project. It's really exciting, and I'm so excited we got Samantha to come on and talk about the organization that we're supporting with these blankets, all those children and family that will be helping to keep warm and give them some shelter. So I just want to say thank all of you.
I was just going to show you when I said you can do their knots a different way. This one I did by wrapping it around my finger and pulling both of them through. So it's just a different look, but you know, if you decide that one way is much easier or whatever, there's no wrong way to do it, is the point. Anybody have any other questions, or you want to hold them up and show how they're, you can ask everybody on gallery view and lift up an edge?
I feel like I'm living on the fringe.
Thank you, Rabbi, for your contribution.
Great. Hi, Spencer.
You ever counted how many fringes are on each side?
It depends how wide you cut them. Some people will do 1 inch, some people's are, you know, 3/4 of an inch, and there are a lot more knots to tie that way. Don't know.
I think this is going to take me forever. Okay.
It's a good project to do. Like I said, you know, if you're sitting watching a movie or something, it's not a thing that takes a lot of deep thought, so you can do it while doing something else.
Okay.
But you end up with a great blanket, nice and cozy for weeks like this.
They make great baby gifts.
They do make great baby gifts. The only
They're
thing-
having classes. I gotta go. All right.
What I've done is oftentimes I take, if the parents have gone to 2 different colleges, I get the fabric of the 2 different colleges and make it and then give it, and that's the baby gift. Or
Yep.
they come from different cities, and I get the sports teams, and it's like, the thing is, there's never a duplicate gift.
Yeah, a lot of people have done like Ohio State and Michigan or the Steelers and the
Yeah.
Browns, and they say we have a mixed marriage. So this is, you know, whoever gets to the couch first gets to decide which side is showing.
Right.
I was gonna say, the only thing you have to be kind of careful of with, if you're doing a baby gift, is you don't want the fringe to be too long because you don't want them to like start chewing on fuzz. But Rachel?
Margie, if you're doing the loop it over your finger, is that double knotted too?
I just do it once.
Okay.
You need, for at least me, I'm not coordinated enough. I need to have the fringe be probably an inch or 2 longer than if it's a double knot, just so I can manipulate it. But that's me.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if it unknots that way. I kind of like that style.
I like it too. It does not, I have not seen it unknot. Just give it a tug after each one.
Okay, thanks.
I know while we're waiting, I think the Frymans are still on. Are you guys on?
Yeah.
I think I see them. Do you guys want to show everyone the first blanket you already did? Because they're actually doing 2, but they finished one already.
It turned out great.
Where is it? Oh, yay.
Where are
You
they?
talk so that you, wait.
So their picture, yeah, I can do that.
Oh,
Beautiful.
I'm not used to moderating. There you go. Their picture is actually on the B'nai Asher Facebook post from this afternoon with that. You guys could have taught this class. You didn't need me.
Girls. You know what? I was looking for that. I want to see if I can find that.
yeah.
I know
posted it
Amy
earlier.
said she was going to put it up. You guys are famous.
Nice job, guys. Thank you.
Can't see it.
You couldn't see it? Hold on.
There. Now I see it. Okay.
So how long did that take you? Do you remember?
Maybe about I don't really know because when they were doing it, I saw that they were doing it and I wanted to do it.
That was nice of you to help.
So I don't really know how long it would take.
Not a really long time though, right?
Probably like 45 minutes.
On both?
What?
On both?
No, for one.
Good work. Gonna make one of those kids at Providence House really happy. Or 2 of those kids, I guess.
I got one side done,
Good.
long side.
Hi, this is Gail Routman. I'm going to have to jump off, but I got one side done, which is great for me.
So when you figured out how when you got to the next corner, you just cut out your little square again and
just keep going.
Go down the next side.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I'll finish mine up and I'll drop it off on Sunday at the temple. But
Thank you
thanks
so
so much for this. I'm the least crafty person I know, and I'm actually going to be able to do this. So thank you.
Thanks, Gail. It's nice to see you.
Hey, good to see all of you.
Thank you, Gail.
Thank you all. Take care.
So put in a plug, anyone who can bake cookies and take them on Sunday too for the nurses, or join in and make lasagna. There's a food pantry, kosher food pantry discussion tomorrow, right, Rachel?
Yeah. I can, actually, you know what, Margie, thank you. See, am I on? Yeah, while you all are doing that, that's a good idea. I'll put in a little plug for everything else that we're doing this week. Hopefully you got your tidings, but if you didn't, it's also up on the website, and there are myriad activities this week. So tomorrow, if you can join Sisterhood at 12:30, the director of the Kosher Food Pantry Devorah Olovsky will be talking about the mission of the Kosher Food Pantry. And then we're also asking either tomorrow or Sunday to drop off peanut butter, unexpired peanut butter, tuna fish, or canned salmon. The reason they're looking for those items is they have a mostly elderly population that really needs to get the protein. Things like pasta and all that, they say they can get much cheaper than anything we could buy. And they get a lot of produce that's not perfect, but it's the proteins that they need. So if you're interested in doing that, as well as we're collecting gift cards to Giant Eagle for the Jewish Family Services Association to give to their clientele who otherwise might not be able to make a kosher Pesach. So yesterday in our kickoff, we had some questions. Does it have to be from Giant Eagle? No, if you want to order it through the shul, Heinen's cards, we certainly, I'm sure they will accept that. Or you can make, if you're not going into the stores, you can make a contribution to the CHESED fund and just mark it as for a JFSA pantry, and we will make sure that it gets to them. On Wednesday, I don't know if any of you happened to see the the Channel 3 news last night at 6 o'clock. There was an article on the walls of love. Zahava Galen will be leading a class just like this at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, knitting scarves. So any of you who are knitters, even if you're beginners, and you have bulky yarn at home, she's going to be teaching a class. And the idea with the walls of love is that anybody can go and take what they need. Don't take too much, don't take more than you need, but just take what you need. So if we can put scarves up there for people who are homeless or in need, that's a beautiful thing. Thursday, St. Herman's House of Hospitality, with whom we have partnered in the past, both with the schools, with the school, and with whenever we have a simcha, we have leftovers, we send that down to them. Carl Cook, who is the director of St. Herman's, will share a few words with what the mission is. We're asking everyone, if they could, to make a vegetarian lasagna in a disposable aluminum pan. Tova and Murray have agreed to sort of donate their Thursday cooking show to lasagna making. And we thank them for that. You can make Tova's recipe, which has been published, or you can make your own. Friday, Menorah Park, Shani has posted, I believe, 4 different PDFs on our website for people to color and then drop off at, oh, I'm sorry, you know what, I forgot to say this with St. Herman's. Please freeze your lasagna and then drop it off Sunday morning between 10 and 12. Rafi is going to take them straight away down to St. Herman's. Friday, we're asking people to make your own or download one of the PDFs that Shani put together to color cards for people at the Menorah Park campus. Or if you don't want to do that, certainly just call somebody, wish them Shabbat Shalom. If you don't know who to call, you can contact one of us. We have names of folks who could use a phone call. And then, of course, it culminates on Shabbat with CHESED and Men's Club Shabbat, where we will be honoring first responders and frontline workers as part of the CHESED side. And Men's Club will be leading different portions of the service, as well as reading Torah. And we will hopefully have some very poignant messages from some of the folks on the front lines, what it's like to be on the front lines during the COVID crisis. And Saturday night, Men's Club is putting together a comedy night, which benefits the Kosher Food Pantry, the Cleveland Food Bank, and the Mid-Ohio Food Bank. And I understand, I heard from Jerry Brodsky yesterday that it's not just going to be Cleveland and Columbus now, that other men's clubs across the country have joined to share and the professional comedy night, so that their food banks can also benefit. So thanks for that. I'm going to go back to my cutting. If you have any questions, anybody have any questions?
I do want to throw one more thing in that Rachel did leave out that I think is also very important for CHESED Week. A lot of the things that we're doing, such as the blankets today, and just a lot of these mitzvah projects are really a lot due to the Joel Schwartz Memorial CHESED Fund. So another great way of helping is also giving to that fund, which you can do straight through B'nai Yeshurun.
Thank you, Shani. That fund, now that you mentioned
Janie or Rachel
I'm sorry, that fund supports a lot of the other things that we do during the year, like providing meals to people that are bereaved, homebound, ill. Many of you know, because you were delivering meals before the pandemic, we previously had volunteers that actually cooked in the B'nai Yeshurun kitchen and then delivered those meals to people. Now we have partnered with Cantina. It obviously costs a lot more money to order food from a restaurant and have it delivered than it did when we cooked it ourselves. But fortunately, we do have a congregant who has a kosher catering facility and kosher restaurant and is able to make good, delicious meals for those of us in our congregation that do need that support. And typically those are delivered on Shabbat with a challah and grape juice, a soup, a salad, a meal, a full entree and dessert. And often there's enough food there for Shabbat lunch as well. So that fund supports that, as well as at times we provide people with Heinen's coupons when we find out that people might be in need because of the pandemic. So we do that as well.
This is Joyce Oberfeld. I'm going to say goodbye. I managed to do a long side and my arthritic fingers can't do any more right now. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you, Joyce.
I was just going to show everybody, sometimes when I tie the knots, it sort of, you can see it gets a little bit gathered up here. I just sort of stretch it out again and it's fine. Don't worry if you see something like that, you're doing fine. You can't mess up this project.
Did Rachel?
Janie or Rachel, is
Yeah.
there a way to record the presentations? Like, I know there are people that would have loved to hear Samantha's presentation about Providence House but couldn't be here, and I know I can't hear the one about the food pantry, but is there a way to record it and post it?
So tonight we are recording it. It's going to go up on YouTube probably this evening sometime. We are recording everything that goes on with CHESED Week, and we'll put them all
That's
in the
great.
same strand so everybody can access them.
Thanks.
Anybody have any?
Okay, the Sukrets have finished. We had a rough start, but now we remembered how to do it and we finished. Want to hold it up so they can see, girls? I see the Frymans are waving.
I'm gonna get a spotlight you. Don't put it down. Oh, good job.
Pretty.
There it is. Yes. They worked together. They each did two sides.
Beautiful.
All right. We
How do you
did
feel, girls? Do you
before, but
feel
we
great?
forgot. It was
Wait.
great. We did it for Rescue Village, right?
Yes,
We
yes,
made them
I
for
love
dogs,
Very nice.
Looks great.
but we forgot how to do it, but we're back now. We know how to.
It comes back quickly. Well, before Rabbi Hal did this with the high school kids last week, he was asking me if I could give him a class, and he got his kid and looked at us like, I remember how to do it. Never mind.
And I'm still not done.
We probably have a few other things going on.
Just a few.
All right. David, how do I change it?
Oh, look, Aviva's helping too. The dog.
if you can.
I'm not doing anything. So that's all the wisdom I have for this.
Thank you, Margie.
Janie, you said there's some more there. If anybody wants to do a second one, is it an option to pick up another kit?
We have about, I'd say, 5 left. So if you're interested, email me and we can work it out that you get one. If I dropped one off before, I can drop one off to you again, or we can leave it at the synagogue for you to pick up. And also, for some reason, you can't drop it off this Sunday between 10:30 and noon. I already have a box underneath the table right at the front of the synagogue where you can put your finished blankets. And we'll keep that out there even after Sunday. So if you finish early and want to drop it off, or finish next week or the week after, just that box will be there for a little bit.
Mom, I'm done.
I see.
Finish.
Spencer is done. Do you want to show everyone now?
Yeah.
Send them over here, please.
Here. You ready?
Spencer.
There you go. I'll put you on. Say hi.
Wow. Wow.
And he picked one with dots on it. Go figure.
Get a blanket in almost any idea you can think of.
But you cannot make, if you want Duke University, there is no fleece Duke University. They don't make any. Duke will not license any. I've tried.
Have you tried recently? Because it used to be that you couldn't get Ohio State, and they did eventually come out with it.
No, I even called a store in the Raleigh Durham area, and they said Duke does not allow it.
Yeah, if you want an out-of-town team, whether it's a college or a professional team, you do have to get it from a store in that area. That's the only thing you can't get at your local store, or you can order online.
Can I ask you, if we were to do another one and I got fabric from Joanne Fabrics, will they cut it so it's straight for me? Because this wasn't as straight when we cut it. It's fine now. But do they have something that we can cut it right there?
You mean will they cut off the selvages?
Possibly, or just have something that we can do it there on site?
No, that they won't cut off the selvages for a whole variety of reasons. You can't cut it there because it's a liability issue.
Okay, thank you.
I did one time, like, go in before work, before the store opened, and use the cutting guide to do the ones for Mitzvah Day. But mostly I sit here on my couch and I trim them off. So, and I can't do that anymore. At one point, Rachel asked me if we could get one of those cutting guides like they have in the store for our dining room table. And she was very disappointed when I said that we couldn't because it would ruin the table. But if you're going to be doing a ton
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that if you're doing a ton of them, you can buy what's called a rotary cutter and a ruler, and it's like a pizza cutter, and it just rolls right along the edge of the ruler and cuts a straight line. Some people actually do that for all their fringe. I think it's way more trouble for fringe than it's worth, but it's great for those long cuts. I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
I was just about to say, well, I turned the camera off so you don't have to look at me at the pool anymore. And I have to go. I have a birthday celebration at 6 o'clock for someone turning 70. So thank you. And I will mail the a blanket that I'm going to make. And I'll send it to B'nai Shern.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Hi, Lynn.
There, I'll give you one more. Let's see. There you go. There's some trees. Okay. Bye. Thanks.
Are the other ones coming along?
We're doing good. I had help though.
I'm grateful to Margie. Thank you for doing this. You're always the best. You are our blanket maven.
This was wonderful.
Everybody's got one skill, right?
I mean, during this class, I've had so many people already text me, couldn't be here tonight, and ask me if it's getting posted.
Oh, good.
You're going to be famous.
Wow.
You'll already be famous. So.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us.
Here's my starts.
Nice.
I'm still
Oh,
working.
I'll show you mine too. Let's see. Here's mine.
It looks good.
You know, when we first started, we weren't sure where we were going to donate these, so I didn't get all baby stuff. This might be for a little older child. Excuse me. Are we ending now, or?
I can end it. Does anyone have anything they wanted to say or ask or?
Just thank you for your efforts.
Oh.
And, everyone on the committee.
Yep. Thank you, Margie. This was great today.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Margie. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Margie.
Really appreciate your coming in and being part of this. And thank you, Margie.
I miss you on Shabbos morning.
Miss everybody.
Yep.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, Margie.
Thank you.
Enjoy making your blankets. Tomorrow is the kosher food pantry, Cleveland Kosher Food Pantry at 12:30 with the Sisterhood. You can stop by and drop off the canned tuna, salmon, or peanut butter tomorrow, or just wait and drop everything off on Sunday. That's it. We got a whole bunch of chesed going on. A lot of great activities. I think everyone's still working.
All right.
All right. I think it's really, we're almost done now. So it's 3 of us now. So thanks. The camera was great.
Yes, I can't imagine without it.
So very cool. Now we have it.
Thanks,
too.
Margie.
Thanks, Rachel.
And Chinny, thank you for dropping it off. I was having technical difficulties, so mine will get done when it gets done, but this was fun.
Perfect. Not a problem at all. All right. I think we're going to sign off. So everyone let's have a good night.
Have a good
day morning. Happy Monday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.